bitch whisperer day, guys. Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
money.
Let's get to the
money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in your ass screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty K of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I will never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the ass screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies. Exactly what we fucking do on this show. We get to the money. Shout out to the chat. LJ in here. Always first. Let's go, Mr. Rogers. I see you. Mad Stoney. I just got baked myself. Even Mr. Urbalina up in this bitch. Let's fucking do this, guys. Shout out to you all. Smash the like if you already haven't. And if you follow me on Twitter, you know I've been going ape shit and telling you all about the new show I got coming on Pub Sports Radio. Today and Fridays only, we are going to shorten the Balking Dead to about a 20 to 25 minute show. I'm going to pump through the pitching props I break down to bet myself. I'm going to give you the info and I'm going to give you my bets. And then when this show ends, the link is going to shoot you straight on over to the good, the bad, and the monies with my boy Billy Brisbane and Big Show going to be joining us too, guys. So come on over there afterwards and let's get to NFL fucking props, baby. Money to be made this weekend, not just in baseball. So this show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you don't know, so please go on over to PrizePicks. Use that promo code PubSports. Why? Your first match deposit up to $100, they got you. So do us a favor, do you a favor, and go use that promo code. Let's talk about Carlos motherfucking Rodon versus these Cubs, guys. And he's about to start in the next 45 minutes or so. And on PrizePicks, they have him at a 7.5, 41.5 fantasy score. And his strikeout prop was at a 7+ minus 182, and his 8+ was at a plus 108 this morning and a minus 104 right before the show. He has 5 wins, 5 losses to that number 8 in the last 10 games. So even though he's averaging 7.9 strikeouts over his last 8, I don't think there's no issue in that number 8 right there, guys. So that right there, yes, he's averaging almost 8 strikeouts over his last 8 games. I'm going to tell you, pull it back. He is a 50% win rate to that number. So I don't think there's nothing shady in the line. Now let's get into his home road case, guys. And the guy does average 2 strikeouts more at home than he does on the road. And his ERA goes with it at the end of the day. He has a 2.2 home ERA, 3.5 road ERA, and his K per 9 drops from a 12.7 to a 10.5 on the road. He's going to project it at a 9 right-handed bat lineup, and he strikes out 11.4 righties per 9, and the lefties at a 12.4 rate. Now, let's talk about number 7 in the black book, guys. At the end of the day, this guy has passed his innings limit of his whole career, and what has he done? He's been still striking actually 1 more out per 9 than he has post-All-Star, guys. So once again, pre-All-Star, post-All-Star, and pitching limits only go to some people, not every people, guys. And at the end of the day, Carlos Rodon is on a 2-year deal with the Giants with a player option. So I don't think they're going to give him a break at the end of the day. The more I'm going to read into it and the more I'm seeing from him, the guy's pitching well. So if you're looking at backing him, he's striking out 12.1 K per 9 post All-Star with a 11.2 pre All-Star. Yes, his earned run average has gone up to a 3.44. Still, 3.44 is good, guys. So at the end of the day, this guy is a beast. He's been a beast all year long. So math says 50-50. Numbers say 80-20 to the yes. My lean is the over, guys, but it's just not enough to get dirty. He did play this team back on July 31st, where he had 7 innings, 0 earned run, 10 strikeouts. That was at home, where he does average 2 strikeouts more. And they were at a strikeout rate and a walk percentage rate where I would have looked at playing him right there, guys. So the numbers would have said differently back then than what they're telling me now. Now, does that mean the go bet is under? No, he is still as Carlos Rodon. Just at the end of the day, everything has to say smash for me to get dirty and tell you guys to go fucking load up, guys. So it's an easy pass for me, strictly in the numbers, guys, and not enough in the math. But he's Carlos Rodon. He's been a beast, and he's been a beast post All-Star. So if you're on his over, I get it. I got to stay off, but the Cubs just aren't hitting, guys, so he should be out there long enough to get this number, in my opinion. Then we're going to get to Nick Lodolo. And if I was to bet anybody right now, and I want to kick this guy square in the balls, guys, Nick Lodolo versus the Brewers. He's at the Brewers. Last night he was 7+ plus 100. He's the only line that was available last night. And this morning he was at a 7+ -21, and he's caught a little more money up to the -126. Prize Picks has him at a 6.5. Fantasy scores at a 31.5. And his home road strikeout per 9 is a strikeout different. He strikes out 10.1 on the road. Well, my bad, almost 2 strikeout difference, and 11.8 on the road. Now, is that funny that he has a white jersey with some red in it there, guys, at the end of the day? No, I'm not surprised that he has that much more of a difference of strikeouts at home than on the road. He does dominate lefties at a 14.3 and a respectable 11.9 K per 9 versus the right-handed side. Now, they are projected 6 right-handed, 3 left-handed bats. He's averaging 6.6 strikeouts over his last 8, so there's nothing shady in that number. He's 4 wins, 6 losses to the number 7+ over his last 10. So definitely understand why they're giving us this 7+. And yeah, let's talk about number 54 in the black book, guys. At the end of the day, you know how hard it is for me to stay off this guy versus the Brewers? Really fucking hard. And I get it, guys. The Brewers are trash. 26.8 strikeout percentage, 206 average with a 671 OPS, and an ISO 165. That ISO is respectable, and their walk percentage is respectable at a 10% walk rate. Now, why am I going to stay off of this guy? I don't hate it if you're on him, guys. I'm strictly going to tell you guys that every time he's been in a smash spot where the strikeout percentage said 25% or higher, this guy has 0 wins and 4 losses to the number 7+, averaging 5.3 strikeouts a game, including a game versus these Brewers back on August 6th when they were walking at an 8.7, now a 10%. They were striking out at a 29.2% clip, now 26.8, and a 220 average back then. And now their average in OPS tends to fall off. But their ISO's at a 165 when it was just at a 0.52. And this man went out there 4.2 innings, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Now, let me tell you, this was a funky-ass game. This was one of those Field of Dream games, or one of those weird games that they had, island games where they bust people in to go play, guys. So they had a really screwed up strike zone. I believe Ashby pitched against them in that game, and they both had enormously amounts of walks. So, I mean, if you take the walks back, yes, this guy should go back out and hit this strikeout rate, guys. But at the end of the day, I've just got to say pass, because every other time he said he should go smash and go hit those K props versus the Cubs, versus the Brewers, versus the Nationals, all high strikeout rates, he didn't hit it, guys. He didn't even come close to that 7. So I've got to just straight say pass. I can't hate anybody on the over. I hope it cashes once again. I'm not one of those guys who goes and bets fucking unders. That just ain't my spiel, guys. I love to bet overs. I love to bet guys' averages, and I'll pass on anything if it ain't an average, because we ain't trying to get into those traps. But shout out to the chat, guys. Almost 40 live, not 40 likes, but we're over halfway there. Smash the like if you haven't. Viper, my guy, I see you. Real Deal Prime, you're the fucking real deal, bro. You at every damn show on Pub Sports, bro. You a fucking trooper. And yeah, shout out to my guy Real Deal Prime, huffing it through Canada and Newfoundland, selling water pumps to all you guys who run out of water pumps. So you doing the work that nobody else want to do, and you on Pub Sports more than anybody else. So Real Deal Prime gets himself a little shout out from me. So I appreciate you. Now let's get into old man Uncle Charlie Morton versus these Mariners, guys. And he's at a 7+ -130, and he's averaging 7.6 strikeouts over his last 8. Is that shady or what? Well, how about this? 7 wins, 3 losses to that number, 7+ over his last 10. Is that shady or what? Well, let's talk a little more about Charlie Morton. 6.5 on Prize Picks, 36.5 fantasy score, and he dominates at home with a 12K per 9, and on the road he just has a 9.4K per 9. Lefties at a 10.3, righties at 11.5K per 9, and they are projected 4 right-handed, 5 left-handed bats with these Seattle Mariners, guys. So at the end of the day, let's get into number 11. All right, now is the line off? Yes. Has Uncle Charlie been blowing through the house every time that the line's been off? Yes. So at the end of the day, guys, the last few weeks, the line just hasn't added up with Charlie Morton. And what does Charlie Morton do? He goes on out and fucking knocks through that wall, bro. At the end of the day, I bet people's averages. And if I can't find a reason, I stay off. Well, there's nothing in the numbers. They're walking 9.3%, only striking out 22.5. They're not really hitting the ball for average, 215 or OPS, 691. But their ISO is absurd at a 186, guys. So at the end of the day, when they are hitting the ball, they are hitting for doubles and home runs. But this is now Charlie Morton. And Charlie Morton has been a damn beast, guys. So at the end of the day, it's over or nothing. Over or not with Charlie Morton. Even though the line's off, even though the numbers say no, Charlie Morton post All-Star, 3.06 ERA compared to a 4.45 ERA, and his K per 9 goes from a 10.4 pre to an 11.7 post. Why? We've talked about it all year, guys. That first month and a half, the guy was coming back from a broken leg. The guy broke his fucking leg pitching last year. Like, get the fuck out of here. So it takes a little time. But Uncle Charlie has been Uncle fucking Charlie post All-Star and 47 innings, guys, with a 3.06 ERA and 11.7 K per 9. It's either over or not, guys, at the end of the day for me. No way could I bet this man's under on the tear that he's been on. Even though the line and the numbers are like, oh, this is way off. Yeah, it's been like that for like the last 4 weeks on this guy. And shout out to LJ. I know he's been riding him. He's been fucking smacking, guys. At the end of the day, Charlie Morton's been a damn man-child lately. He ain't no Uncle Charlie. He's man-child Charlie lately, guys. So let's get into the other side of this pitching matchup. And it's Robbie Ray, and it's up versus these Braves. And this is, once again, 7+ at a -109. If you look at his last 8 games, he's averaging 6 strikeouts over his last 8 games. Hold up. We know the Houston Astros own Robbie Ray. All right. We don't fuck around with that. We already know that. So we're going to take that out a little bit, okay? And then we're going to take out the back-to-back with Cleveland, where the dude went and got 7 the first time and still had a really good game, guys. But we're here to bet punchies. And the punchies weren't there the second time versus Cleveland. So fucking what? They weren't there the second time. This man, without the Houston Astros over his last games or a back-to-back in Cleveland, is averaging 9 strikeouts a fucking game over his last 8 games. This guy has been dominant. He has 6 wins, 4 losses to the number 7+ over his last 10. And yeah, I get this 7+ -109 because of his average. We've got a Cleveland back-to-back who doesn't punch out, who he got for 7 the first time. And then you have the Houston Astros on a back-to-back who you just go through his career and they've just punched that guy's booty cheeks like it's fucking, I don't know what, dude, like it's a piñata on a Christmas party or a birthday party, bro. At the end of the day, bro, Robbie Ray just needs to call in sick versus the Astros. So is what it is. I'm going to pull that out and tell you this guy's been a beast. Now, when I dig through these numbers, guys, this is absurd. This is a team that is not striking out, walking 13%, striking out 15.9%, collectively hitting lefties 327 with a 926 OPS and a 175 ISO. Well, at the end of the day, it's once again, it's over or not betting Robbie fucking Ray, guys. Everything in the numbers say nope, but home road splits, same, 10.1, 10.3 K per 9. But when he's at home, guys, that ERA says 2.49 compared to a 4.8. Big, beautiful ballpark to pitch in. Will also help Charlie Morton, guys. Also, yes, Charlie Morton is worse on the road if you look at his home road splits. But at the end of the day, look at what ballpark he's about to go to. And Seattle's probably the best ballpark to pitch in at nighttime, guys. So those home runs, they just go to the warning track here, guys. At the end of the day, it's a crazy-ass, big-ass ballpark, and is what it is. Life's a bitch and you marry one, and it's a great place to pitch. So definitely can see both guys K-props hitting, even though the numbers are saying not, and even though the numbers are saying that the Braves are destroying lefties, guys. Once again, good pitching beats good hitting. I preach that all the time. Well, guys, I got 2 more guys to talk about before we shoot you on over with the link. If you guys want to make some more money on this Sunday card, and I know everybody's about making money on this show, guys, and we got an NFL prop and prize pick show about to crack off right after this show. So let's get into the last two pitchers real quick. You know I don't bet back-to-backs. And I seen somebody tag me, it's McCullers. I hope McCullers cashes, blah, blah, blah. I just don't bet back-to-backs unless you proved it to me. So let's talk about it. Who's on back-to-backs today? We've got my guy, Dustin May. And I'm going to tell you guys, I live in San Diego. The Padres have had 3 games in their history rained out at home since 1969. It's fucking pouring here, guys. It's fucking 90-something plus and fucking pouring. There's no way in hell am I going to bet a person's prop on a back-to-back in a spot like this. It opened 6+ at 1 plus 127 this morning, and last week it was a 5+ minus 143. And guess what? Right before the show, it dropped back down to 5+ minus 154. So they're at least coming back down to that 5+. And it's probably because there's a bunch of people realizing the shithole weather, guys. Now, if it wasn't for the weather, I'd still say it's an over or not for Dustin May at 5 strikeouts. But I'm not going to pay the juice on a back-to-back, guys. Not versus this Padres team, who is a team that can murder you versus strikeout props. He had 5 walks last week with 5 strikeouts. Now you're going to tell me Dustin May is going to walk 5 people again, and I'm going to tell you I listen to the radio because I tell you all the time that I learn a lot from the radio. And even the radio said 2 of those walk calls were strike 3s. They weren't even fucking close. The umpire was just a douchebag. You can't pick your umpire. You've got to deal with it, guys, at the end of the day. So if you're being as wild as he was to even get to that many 3-ball counts, you're not going to get those strike 3 calls all the time, especially as a young kid. These umpires will make you earn your stripes. Now, on the other side, Lance McCullers, guys, our guy and your guy. 7+ at a minus 102 this morning, and has now moved to plus money at a plus 106. Last week, he was 6+ at a minus 120, and that's where we got dirty with him. Why did we get dirty with him? Well, the Angels are fucking terrible. The strikeout numbers, the hitting numbers, all that. And Lance McCullers averages 2.5 more strikeouts on the road than he does at home over the last 2 seasons. And we had to go back over 2 seasons because this man's only pitched so many games this year. The good thing is, and why I can understand why this 7+ has went up, why they went up with it with the books. Last week was the first week they unleashed him, guys. He was pretty much pitching around 70. He started around the 80, got up to 90. Last week they went and let him go to the 100 mark, guys. So the collars are off. The reins are off our guy, Lance McCullers. He got those strikeouts last week with 4 walks. And when I dig through his back-to-backs from last year, the guy shows he can replicate the same type of game or get better, guys. So if you are on his over, I get it. At least he shows he can go back out there and do it. And these Angels are a team that, by the numbers, are screaming to go do it against. I myself just don't run guys on back-to-backs unless it screams at me to. If he was on the road here, but you'll never get a road back-to-back. You'll always get one home, one on the road. And this guy's shown me he's just bet on the road, guys. So I like to bet Lance McCullers on the road in those spots. And if it wasn't a back-to-back versus these Angels, I'd still smack them because the Angels are one of those teams. We just been raking in money. So shout out to the chat, guys. Smash the fucking like if you haven't. 50+ live, only 26 likes. Nobody loves me. It's kind of like my dad, guys. He left to go get some bread when I was 2 and never came back, huh? Is what it is. Life's a bitch, then you marry one. If you haven't already, guys, this show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Please go on over there. Use that promo code PUBSPORTS. Why, guys? It's not just like saying thank you, Sharpie. It's like saying thank you, Sharpie, a million fucking times. That's what keeps this show going. Every one of you who's used that promo code PUBSPORTS, you keep Sharpie in his seats. Everyone who's hit those likes, who shows up daily, you keep Sharpie in his seat. So at the end of the day, guys, I appreciate you. And the best thing you can do for all the knowledge that I do give you is go use that promo code PUBSPORTS, guys. If you can or you already have, I appreciate it. Your first match deposit up to $100, they got you. So go do us a favor, do you a favor, and use that promo code. And when this ends, jump onto this next link where this link will shoot you to and come join me and Billy and let's get to that NFL money, baby. Woo-hoo-hoo!